Welcome back to another edition of the Pagcast. I'm your host, Michael Pagani, joined alongside Calgary defenseman Aleksey Chichkin. Aleksey, thank you again for coming on this edition of the Pagcast.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
My first question to you is obviously, how have you been doing recently?
It's been good. It's nice to get a little break midway through the season. We played about 30 games now, so you get to head home now and spend a little bit of time with family, and then you're right back at it, and right back at it on the 28th. So yeah, it's good to get some time off and right back at it.
I assume like most of your holiday plans are going to be spent with the majority of families since you don't get to really spend all that much time with them during the season.
Oh yeah, it's nice to see them. Obviously, they come up a couple times. They came up for the teddy bear toss, so it's cool to get to see them then. And but yeah, it's a great time to be back in Vancouver. I haven't been here in a while, so it's awesome to see some friends too.
Well, let's talk about the last game before the holiday break. It was a 7-4 win over the Broncos. What went well during that game?
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of all bought in, and I think even the last week, you look at our last three games, we've done three tough opponents, but we've been able to win two of them and send the other one to shootouts. So it's been a great week for us, and I think with a young team, we're trying to build and keep going here, and every single guy's kind of getting used to being in the WHL, and I think that's awesome to see.
You finished it with an assist on Sean's goal there. What did you see on that play?
Yeah, I mean, I just, I was play started in our zone. I kind of got the puck from Ben and skated on the way down. Really didn't really mean to get an assist, try to get it down, but it worked out at the end. And yeah, as if you get a guy like that the puck, he's gonna put it in the net. So you try and look for him, and it worked out well.
What's it like having him on the team? Because he's a bit of that veteran presence, right? He's been through the dub many times, has played many seasons. So it must be nice to have that veteran presence that he brings.
Oh yeah, I mean he helps you a lot. Him and Galloway and Tyson are they're all three really good veterans, and they teach you a lot. And Shig's been through the system. He's been to NHL camps, and you try and take a lot from him. Obviously he's a forward, but same with Galloway. I mean he's my D partner, and try and take the most I can from him, and use it every day.
Was it kind of the plan going into the season to pair you alongside Galloway to have kind of someone mentor you?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously it worked out. At the start of the season, I wasn't with him, but afterwards, I thought that we've been playing quite well together, and we're two big guys, and yeah, I mean, it's good. He helps me a lot. I think as a 18-year-old coming into the league, I think playing with a guy like that is really important, and he helps me every shift, and if I mess up or do something, he lets me know about it, and it's great to learn from a guy like that who's drafted, and yeah.
Well, let's get into a bit of your story. Who influenced you to get into hockey?
My brother played growing up and everything like that, so he basically took the same path as me. Played in the Burnaby Winter Club, and then he went to the BCHL. He decided to take the college route, but yeah, I mean, he was also a huge influence. When I was little, and like running around 6 years old, and getting to watch him play in the rinks here, it's awesome. Especially in the BCHL is a pretty big fan. But it's cool. It's awesome. He got drafted to WHL, and obviously I was there with him. Every way, and didn't get to play up in the bigger leagues, but it's awesome to see someone who in your family to do that, and then you kind of have a dream to chase after that.
There must have been so many mini stick battles growing up as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was from a young age. He was living away from home, so he was traveling around the BC, and he played for Trail Smoke Eaters and a couple other teams. So didn't get to see him too much, but yeah, it was awesome when he came home for the summer.
Was there a player growing up who you wanted to model your game after?
I mean, I've always liked Victor Hedman. I think he's a guy who is very good at what he does. He's a big boy too, so yeah, I mean Victor Hedman. I think he's a guy who I try and aim to be like, and there's many other guys who are shut down role, but yeah, he's a really good player, and I try to play like him a little bit.
Also a two-time cup champion as well, right? Won so many awards.
Yeah, he's a great player. And it's what you need a guy like that on your team to win the championship, and he's a great locker room guy too, I think too. So yeah, that's good.
With all this talk about you being from Vancouver, did you become a Canucks fan growing up?
Yeah, I've been a Canucks fan, all my life, so it's pretty cool. I'm also kind of a Cabs fan too because I like Ovi, but yeah, I mean, definitely a Canucks fan. I think this year they're doing like quite well, so it's nice to see being back home.
Well, it's nice because this is their first like really good season in a very long time, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. And I think every single year you're kind of hoping for them to do well, but it doesn't really work out at the end of the day. But I think the last cup run we kind of saw was in during the COVID years, right in the bubble. So that was pretty cool to see. And then now they're doing quite well. So try and watch as many games as I can back in Calgary. I went to both Canucks games when they played against the Flames, so that was really cool to see. But yeah, I mean, just those are the guys that I want to end up being like. So watching them as much as I can, and I'm going to the game Saturday against the Sharks too, so that'll be fun to watch.
Absolutely. I mean, we know how bad the Sharks are, so we should be expecting a Canucks win. I think that should be a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, hopefully.
There are like a ton of BC teams in the WHL. I mean, there's a whole division with them in it. Like which team did you go and watch the most?
I mean, the Giants probably. I think even back when they were at the Coliseum, I watched them quite a bit. They're a team that you never really think you're going to play against, and here I am playing them in January, so it's pretty cool. I think it's they're a team that I grew up watching, and to play them soon here is going to be really cool. So I'm really excited for it, and I have a lot of family coming out to the game too.
It must be a real homecoming for you when you have a lot of family and friends that go to Giants games, and see you on the ice.
Yeah, it'll be really fun. I think most of my friends are here too, so it'll be really cool. You have to play them and see all the people afterwards. Because most of our games are played out in Alberta, and I don't know too many people out there. So um, yeah, it's really cool to come to BC. I think right after Christmas I'm here, and then I'm here again. So it's awesome.
How difficult is that for you to kind of make that transition to Alberta, basically a province that you never really go, and you kind of have to meet everyone. You have to start on square one again.
Yeah, I mean it's you're there for hockey. It's good. I think I have a lot of friends in the team. Going in, I was friends with David Adazinski and Carson Wedge, so I've known those guys for a while. And yeah, so you come in here and it's like familiar grounds, and I've been playing with Dave since I was 6, 7, so it's awesome. You come in there and those guys kind of show you the ropes, and it's nice. I think obviously you don't know too many people, but my billets have been great, and yeah, you just you learn you meet people along the way, so it's awesome.
How cool is that, man? Like you're sharing this experience with Dave, who you've known for so long.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we talk about it sometimes. Like we never really thought it happened. Like we were way younger, like 6, 7. Just playing at the rink near my house, and now we're playing for the Hitmen together. So it's definitely a cool experience.
Well, let's talk about the Burnaby Winter Club program. What about their program helped you reach that next level?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing there since I was really young, and starting off with great coaches. I mean, many guys helped me throughout my career there. I mean, um, even with the academy, I went into the academy there, and throughout my academy experience, I won 2 championships. So that was really cool. With West Van and BWC. But yeah, I mean, BWC it's an awesome organization. We played there for so long, and so many friends now, and a lot of people who are now onto juniors into the WHL. So it's kind of cool to have friends all over the WHL, and be able to play them each game. And you've played with these guys growing up, so it's great. It's great for developing and all that.
I assume you stayed in touch with most of the guys that were a part of the program.
Yeah, yeah, we have. Yeah, just yeah, you know, everyone kind of gets split around, and it's tough to stay in touch, but you definitely do because we've played together since we were really young, and that's kind of the beauty thing about BWC is kind of, you start in program with someone really young, and, you kind of work your way up. And, obviously some guys quit and stuff like that, but, some guys hold together. So it's awesome.
What do you remember about the pandemic stopping all sports?
Yeah, it was tough. Yeah, we were in the playoffs. Obviously, we weren't making it or anything this or that year. I don't think we are going to do too well, but yeah, I mean, you kind of found out about it in the playoffs, and those got canceled. So yeah, I mean, just at the start you got to take time off, and then right back at it. But it's tough because you can get ice and stuff like that. So you're shooting pucks in your backyard and working out at home with Zoom workouts for our team. It was, and yeah, I mean, it was definitely tough for everyone. I think at the start you're just like, oh, well, like I wanted to get canceled because I don't want to go to school, right? But then after that, you realize, oh, it's 2 months that you're not seeing your friends and you're not on the ice, and then 4 months, and the next season, we missed a full season to play, right? So we had to practices every day, so yeah, I mean, it was definitely different. I think it was a pretty cool experience. It helped me develop, and I think that's awesome. But yeah, I mean, it was tough. It was a tough time for everyone, and I think we got through it quite well.
I do remember like that because it came around March break and it's like, okay, like 2 weeks, extra 2 weeks, not too big of a deal. Like I could use that extra 2 weeks. And then it's like, oh my God, it's
Yeah,
now 4 months, 5 months.
yeah,
When is this thing gonna end?
yeah. I think everyone was hoping for it to cancel school and everything like that, and then you're ending up wishing to go back. So that's how it works.
How did the pandemic affect your development? You kind of touched on it a bit there, but was it kind of like, did it help with your shooting? Did it help with your, obviously it was hard to find ice, but with your skating?
Yeah, I mean, I think shooting probably the biggest thing. You're shooting pucks in the backyard. Strength too. I think you're training every day. Didn't really have a home gym, so was filling up milk cartons and lifting those. So it was, yeah. I mean, you gotta work through a tough time, and I mean, yeah, definitely. I think shooting really helped. Obviously wasn't able to get on the ice as much, so not as much skating. But after when the season did start, and we weren't playing, we had skating coaches and everything like that. So it definitely helped. I mean, you're doing way more training than you would be in a season, and when you're not playing, you're training way harder like you are in the off season, right? So you have nothing to rest your body for. So it was a good year. It was a good year for development, and yeah, I think my shot probably got way better.
When things started to open up again, you appeared in 5 playoff games with BWC. What was that atmosphere like?
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was our U18 year. We did awesome. I think that was we won that year. So it was really cool to be with a group of guys who I've known for a while and to win. And that's where I met Wetchy too. So yeah, I mean, it was awesome being able to win a championship. I've won one before in my U15 year, so it was really cool. Not knowing if I was going to make that team at the start, and then coming in and playing a big role, is it was awesome. I really enjoyed that season, and got to meet friends that I'll know for a while.
It must have been, it must have been a lot, I guess, a lot more fun considering that you had gone through the pandemic, you had stopped the season in the playoffs, you come back and you win the chip, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was insane. I mean, like I said, we didn't play the year before, so making that team, obviously the U18 team, they were only taking a select few, so it was tough, not knowing if I was going to play there, have to move to a different organization. So, but it was really cool. When I ended up on the team, it was awesome, and to win and not be able to play the season before, it was really cool.
Are you superstitious in the playoffs?
I mean, I'm pretty superstitious every game. I try to, I don't really try and switch things up for the playoffs. This year, yeah, I got quite a bit of superstitions, and so try not to make them affect me too much. But yeah,
The following season you played in the BCHL, it kind of comes full circle with you because your older brother, you said, played in the BC, right?
yeah, yeah, he did.
So was the team that you played on, was that just the team that recruited your talents, or how did you end up joining them?
Yeah, so throughout that U18 season, we were doing quite well, and obviously a bunch of guys committed, and went to different places around. And yeah, towards I think end of December, January, I started speaking with Merritt, and they liked how I played, and yeah, I mean, they offered to sign me. I think that was really important, because I hadn't really talked to many other teams. So they took a chance on me, and the coach really believed in me, and there, you don't got really scouts going out and looking for you like you do in the WHL, and obviously the head coach really liked me, and with that, it also helps because you're kind of head coach likes you and takes you on the team. I mean, usually means he's going to play you. So yeah, it was really cool to kind of have that experience of, I think that was probably the coolest experience of, I'm heading up to that league, and it's where my brother played, and I watched these guys all the time. So it was really cool to, for that to happen. And I was pretty pumped for, a while there.
How did you find out that the Hitmen were going to sign you?
Yeah, so I just actually I broke my hand last season in January, and I was out because I had to get surgery the fall, like following a few days. And yeah, I mean, I think I got one of my teammates was talking to the Hitman too, and he told me that they were interested in me. So yeah, I mean, I went out for dinner with our GM now, Gary Davidson, and yeah, I mean, they offered to sign me, which is great. I think they were just trying to see like if I was interested or not, right? Because I mean, in the BCHL, you have two options, right? Or you have two options in hockey is to go to the WHL and or go to college, right? And some guys go to the BCHL because they want to pursue that college option. So yeah, I mean, I was the college teams that we're talking to weren't really pushing anything through. So I ended up thinking that the WHL would be a great option for me, and it was awesome.
Was it a long road to recovery with your broken hand?
Yeah, it was pretty long. It sucked. I mean, you're in the season, you're every single day in Merritt, and then I had to go back home because there's no recovery there and physio. So yeah, I got surgery in Kelowna, and then headed back home, and it was tough. You're there with your teammates every day playing, and you go through the ups and downs. But with your hand injury, you can't do anything. You can't go on the ice. You can't shoot. The only thing you can do is kind of skate, I guess. But yeah, there's nothing you can do. You just work out and hope for the best, hope for quick recovery. So yeah, I mean, it was definitely tough. I think it was probably one of the worst moments of the season.
And it sucks because like you can only spectate, right? And you're kind of you have this itch to get back, but it's like, well, I got this injury that really prevents me from doing anything.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, yeah, I think when Calgary was talking to me, I think they might have wanted me to come up earlier that year. So, but I wasn't able to because of my hand injury, so that was out of talk. So it sucked. I think obviously I wanted to get back as fast as I could, but at the same time you want to recover and fully be back for the next season. So I think it was really important to kind of sit out and do all the things necessary in order to fully recover and be able to play now.
How would you evaluate your game to this point in the season?
I think I've been playing pretty well. I think coming in didn't really know what role I'd have, and I really been able to play big minutes, and I think that's really really awesome. And I think just stepping up my game from being in the BCHL, and now you're playing against guys who are top NHL draft picks, and it's really cool to see and play against these guys. It really gets you a lot better. Same thing with practices. I mean, you're practicing against guys who are want it just as bad as you do. So it's really cool. I've really enjoyed playing the entire year, and yeah, I think pretty good start to the season. Last couple of games have been better, and I think yeah, just keep going.
How much of your game is built around your size? Because you are like a heavier, taller defenseman.
Yeah, I mean, I think you definitely got to use it to your advantage. Whenever there's a smaller guy, and then obviously the only worst thing about it is you're gonna draw more you're gonna take more penalties, right? Because there's a smaller guy. But yeah, I mean, you try to use it to your advantage, with strength and everything like that. And, getting back to pucks, I think, yeah, I mean, I try to use it as much as I can. And, yeah, just trying to be hard to play against. I think that's kind of what I want to be, and not let anyone score against me. So
You're still looking for your first career WHL goal, but what would it mean for you to accomplish that during this Vancouver road trip where you may see lots of friends and family in the stands?
yeah, I mean, obviously, you try and look for it, and so last year got it out of the way pretty early. I've had some opportunities this season, but yeah, I mean, it's as a D man, you're trying to focus on your goal and what you're trying to accomplish. You don't really look at things far past that. Obviously, if the game works out, and obviously pretty sweet to score at home, but yeah, I mean, just trying to do my role, not trying to skate out and do things that are out of the ordinary.
You guys are neck and neck with the Regina Pats for that, eighth and final playoff spot. What's going to be the key for the team coming up into the second half?
Yeah, I think we've been really young, and all these guys are just starting to get settled in. I think just keep going. I think you've seen this past week. I mean, we were able to pick up 5 out of 6 points with the shootout loss, and I mean, yeah, everyone's starting to get kind of settled in, and it's been a lot of transition period for our team. So lots of trades, cuts, things like that. So I think we're headed in the right place right now, and I think everyone's starting to feel that. So it's awesome to see around the room, and yeah, I mean, obviously we want to make the playoffs. I've heard a lot about last year's run in Red Deer. That was pretty cool, and um, yeah, just we want to make the playoffs, and I think we'll be able to get there.
Have you played in any Teddy Bear Toss games this season?
Yeah, we've played against, or like, do you mean like ours, or?
Well, it could be yours, it could be anyone else's, because I know for me, like I love the Teddy Bear Toss. It's one of my favorite events in
Yeah,
the CHL calendar. So I was just wondering if you had played in any.
yeah, ours was really cool. We had a really big one, like basically fully sold out Saddle Dome, so it was really awesome. Like
And
I
it, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no worries. Um, yeah, I mean, last year we probably like maybe 600 fans, and this year jumping up to 20,000 or whatever it was. So it was really cool to see, really cool, and to be able to play in front of that, and be able to be on the ice for that was really cool.
With this being your first year in the WHL, like how weird was it seeing thousands of Bears fall on the ice?
Yeah, it was insane. I think I watched some videos from years prior, but you never really expect it until it comes, and all game you're kind of itching for it, and other guys are itching for it. So you're every single time you're in the O zone, fans are oohing and awing. So it's cool. I think it's definitely it's a different game. I think you try and keep it the same as every other game, but whenever it's a pretty big deal. I think for the community and stuff, and after um, giving the Bears to Children's Hospital, it's a cool experience. I think it's an awesome holiday tradition.
How awesome is it to play in the Saddle Dome? Like you're sharing the same ice as the Calgary Flames.
It's awesome. Like for me, as some of the guys kind of look at me weird, but I like to watch practices and stuff like that, and I mean the away teams and stuff practice right before us, so in between meetings and stuff, going out on the ice and watching guys who you've looked up to as a kid, and I think for everyone else who's a vet here, they kind of already know it, and kind of get made fun of it for sometimes, but yeah, I mean I think it's pretty cool. It's awesome to see guys who you aspire to be. So it's awesome.
Just trying to soak in every moment of it.
Exactly. Yeah. Just trying to get as much as I can from it.
Throughout this season so far, what has been your favorite and least favorite arena to travel to?
Um, I mean, I'd probably say most like my favorite would probably be um either Red Deer or Lethbridge. I mean, it's pretty close. Red Deer is also really cool because we kind of have a little bit of rivalry against them, so it's awesome. I mean, I think the last time or second last time we played there was a fully sold out crowd, so it was awesome. Just coming in there on a Friday or Saturday, and then getting to see that crowd, and trying to win, and with the rivalry with Calgary, the Battle of Alberta. So it's awesome. It's great. I think that's probably my favorite place, and yeah, until I get to Vancouver.
What's your game day routine like?
Yeah, it just honestly depends. I think, we play different times. When we play at 7 p.m., it's I wake up eat breakfast, and then go for a walk with one of my teammates. I live right beside Oliver Talk, so we usually go for a walk together, and after that, come back, nap, eat my pregame, and then head to the rink. So it's awesome.
What's in it for breakfast? Is it the Vector cereal, Lucky Charms? I'm a big cinnamon toast crunch guy myself.
I like cinnamon toast, but usually for pregame, I try not to eat that stuff. I
Yeah.
go some eggs and maybe some ham or sausage, something like that.
Oh, I love ham. Ham is a great type of meat to have before a game. I'm telling you, it is
Yeah,
awesome.
it's awesome.
Carson Wetch and Carter Yakimchuk got named to the top prospects game, which is a huge honor for themselves. What does it mean to play with those guys who are so talented?
Yeah, I mean, I've known Wetchy for a while, and it's pretty cool, and really proud of him. I think obviously being drafted that year that we were together is, and now being here is it's really big for him. I think he's a big guy and really strong, and he's gonna play at the next level. So it's cool to see those guys doing so well. I mean, coming in and Yak, is ranked in top of the first round, middle of the first round right now. So it's awesome, like playing with him, and some games like Galley's out, we're D partners, so it's awesome. And he lives right next to me too, so it's pretty cool because we get to see each other, quite
So
often.
I just have a couple kind of rapid fire questions here. I'm going to start off with, what is your favorite TV show right now, if you watch any?
Favorite TV show?
Yeah, or a
I mean,
movie. It could be anything.
I'll just say I like The Office or Friends. Just, yeah, pretty
Yeah,
easy and laid back.
that's a good one to binge watch, I find.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched it a couple times, so just throw it on late night and just wind down to it.
What's your go-to Christmas movie?
I mean, I like Home Alone. I'm a huge Home Alone guy, but last night I watched Elf, so it's that works too.
Yeah, see, Elf is a huge tradition. Like me and my mom, we always watch it every Christmas.
Yeah,
We love that movie.
yeah, it's awesome. I watched it last night, so it's a good way.
Do you have a favorite vacation spot?
Um, I mean, just go to location, probably Cancun, Mexico, just with
Okay.
family.
So I've never been to those types of places. Like I love Ottawa. Ottawa's my go-to vacation spot.
Ottawa,
Yes, so much tourism there. It's awesome. Like I love the museums. I love everything that has to go about it.
cool, like Parliament and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So Parliament's there. There's like an art museum, the War Museum. There's like this kind of Deep Bunker Museum, which goes back in
Oh,
time, and there is some
yeah,
historical significance there. So, like Ottawa is a great spot for just walking
really.
around. Yeah.
I've never been, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's my go-to. It's weird because like it's cold in the winters and it's obviously hot in the summers because it's
yeah,
Canada, right?
yeah.
And so a lot of when they ask players that question, they're always like, "Yeah, these tropical places." And here I am, like, "Yeah, I love going to Ottawa."
Maybe I'll have to check it out.
Why do you wear the number 8?
My brother wore it, and I think my brother. I was a huge fan of his, and then obviously the huge reason is Aleksey Chichkin. I think he's probably my favorite player, and yeah, just when I saw the option was available, I obviously took it.
Was 77 not available then?
No, no, I like 5. Or we're
5.
not
Okay.
we can't wear numbers above 40, I think, for some reason.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
My last question to you is, do you have any advice for younger hockey players?
Just keep going. I think, if you like the game and everything like that. I mean, I wasn't drafted to the WHL. I didn't really get any looks or anything like that. And, here at 18, I'm playing here. So, I mean, you get drafted at a very young age, 14, 15. And, I know how it is not to get drafted. It's obviously a bummer. And, next few days, obviously, feel a little bit crappy. But I mean, just keep going. You can make it, and there's many people who are undrafted and then end up going to the NHL. So it's yeah, just keep going.
Well, I'd like to thank again Aleksey Chichkin for joining me on today's podcast. Thank you again, Alexei.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.